So students, in the continuing discussion of IUPAC naming, by the time I had told you that how to name an organic compound having one functional group or having one or more substituents or both. Basic rules for the naming remain same. In first step we select the longest parent chain. In second step we number the chain, and finally we write the name. Now in today's discussion I will tell you the procedure to name an organic compound having two or more functional group. So let's start here. Naming of bifunctional compounds or polyfunctional compounds. Bifunctional compounds means that contains more than or that contains two functional groups. Say for example, same compound contains an OH group as well as a CHO group. Same compound contains a CHO group as well as a COOH group. Same compound contains a double bond and amino group. Same compound contains a ketonic group and aldehyde group both. Or polyfunctional means number of functional groups are even more than 2. How is to name these compounds? So a very simple procedure is followed for it. Out of all functional groups that are present in given compound, one functional group is treated as principal functional group, and for that during naming suffix 2 is used. While other functional groups that are present in the compound, they are treated as substituents and their names are mentioned before to the root word, means they are treated as prefixes. True? If a compound has two or more functional groups, then what we do? One functional group is treated as suffix, is treated as principal functional group, and during naming for it we use suffix, while other functional group or other functional groups are treated as substituents and their names are written before to the root word by following all the rules that are used for substituents. This is very simple. Now, which functional group is treated as principal functional group and which one is treated as substituent? For this we have a priority table or a seniority table in which different functional groups are arranged in decreasing order of their priorities, and if the functional groups which are present which has got more priority is taken as principal functional group, and the one who has got a lower priority, that is treated as substituent. Now this table is as follows. COOH is more than SO3H is more than COOR is more than COCl is more than amide is more than CN is more than CHO is more than CO is more than OH is more than NH2 is more than double bond is more than triple bond. So this is called seniority table or priority table. Highest priority is given to COOH group while least priority is given to the carbon-carbon triple bond. So the various functional groups, if they are present in, if more than two functional groups are present in given compound, then in accordance with this priority table or seniority table, the group which is present, which has got a higher priority, is chosen as a principal functional group, and remaining groups or remaining group is treated as a substituent. Now let us discuss some of the common functional groups and what is used when they are treated as substituent, and what is used when they are treated as functional group. So first I had written this class of compound alcohol. So what is the functional group for alcohols? It is this OH group. When OH group is treated as substituent, word hydroxy is used. While when OH is treated as functional group, suffix 2 used is all. This you know, all. But if OH group is present in a compound where principal functional group is something else, then term hydroxy is used to represent its position. Next is aldehyde. So the functional group is CHO. When CHO group is treated as a substituent, word formyl is used. But when it is present as a some functional group, then suffix 2 used is al. Similarly, ketone. So the functional group is C double bond O. When ketonic group is treated as a substituent, then word oxo is used. But when it is a functional group, then suffix 2 used is ol. Then cyanides or nitriles, for them functional group is CN or C triple bond N. Both are same, only difference in the way by which it is represented. And if this CN group is treated as substituent, then we use word cyno. But when it is present as a functional group, then word nitrile is used. Similarly, amines, for them functional group is NH2. So when this is present as substituent, word amino is used. And when it is functional group, suffix used is amine, amide, CONH2. So carbamoyl is prefix for it, and amide is suffix. And as I told you that there are certain functional groups. There are certain groups which when present in the compound, although they behaves as a functional group, but they are always treated as substituents. For the purpose of IUPAC naming, they are not treated as functional groups. For them suffix 2 is not used, they are always used as prefix. For example, X group, which is called halo. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, these elements of group 16, they are collectively called as halogens. So halo refers to either fluoro, chloro, bromo or iodo. Presence of a halogen atom in the compound determines its characteristic properties, changes its characteristic properties. So once this halogen atom is present in any compound, it behaves as a functional group. But for the purpose of IUPAC naming, they are treated as substituents. Their names are always written before to the root word. In the similar way, nitro group, OR, alkoxy group, these are also the groups which when present in the compound, they behaves as a functional group, but they are not treated as functional groups as far as IUPAC naming is concerned. They are treated as substituents. So before we take some examples, let me summarize rules once again. If given organic compound has two or more functional groups present in its structure, then functional group which is higher in the priority table is treated as principal functional group, and for this suffix 2 is used during naming, and remaining functional group or remaining functional groups are treated as substituents, and their names are written as prefix as per this table by following all other rules. Means their names should be written before to the root word. Now in order to illustrate it, let us take some examples. For example, we have CS3, NH2, CH2, OH. A very simple organic compound, and as I told you that for first step we select the longest chain, and as soon as I selected this longest chain, I realized that there is an OH group, that is a functional group, and there is a NH2 group which is also a functional group. So in such cases where two functional groups are present, for naming of those compounds we refer to the priority table or we refer to the seniority table. And therein I found that OH group has got seniority or priority over NH2 group, and hence this OH group is treated as principal functional group, and for this we write suffix, and this is treated as substituent, and for this we write prefix. So now if we are able to distinguish that which one is a functional group and which one is a substituent, then we can number it. Now as I told you, as per the rules, when a compound contains both a functional group as well as substituent, then it must be numbered from that side which gives least number to the functional group. Now this amino group is present at 2, so we write 2 amino, then root word is pro, then in and 1 all. So is that name is correct? No. When suffix 2 starts with the vowel, then this E of suffix 1 is not written. Now let's take one more example. CS3, C double bond O, C double bond O, CH2, CHO. So as a first step, I had selected this longest chain, and after selecting this longest chain I realized that there are two functional groups. One is this aldehyde group and there is another, these two ketone groups, and both are functional groups. So since there are two functional groups present, I immediately refer to the seniority table or to the priority table, and therein I found that seniority of CHO group is more than seniority of CO group. So this is principal functional group, and for this I will use suffix, and these are treated as prefix. They are written as substituents. Then once we got clear about the functional group and substituent, then we can number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at 3 and 4 position there are substituent, and if CO group is used as a substituent, then the word oxo is written. So we write 3, 4 dioxo, since 2 CO groups are present. So we write 3, 4 dioxo, then 5 carbons, hence pent, in single bond, 1 al, 1 al. Then again it is vowel, so E is not written. Let us take one more example. So for this compound, again longest chain is selected in this way. Then outside to the chain there is a functional group, there is another functional group, and there is a substituent. Now out of these two functional groups, priority of COOH group is more than priority of OH groups. So COOH group is treated as principal functional group, and for this we use suffix. OH group is treated as substituent, so there are two substituents. One is hydroxy and other is Br. And as soon as we are able to determine that which one is a substituent, which one is a functional group, we can number it. Now there are two substituents. So if more than one substituent is present, they are numbered, their names are written in alphabetical order. So it is bromo, this is hydroxy, so bromo is written first. So we write 4 bromo, then 3 hydroxy, then root word pent, in 1 oic acid. So I am quite sure that these examples have made clear the things. How polyfunctional compounds or how bifunctional compounds are known. Basic rules remain same. The only additional thing that we need to do is to identify the principal functional group and substituent. If given organic compound has two or more than two functional groups in its structure, then in accordance with seniority table or priority table, we choose principal functional group and we choose then the once the principal functional group is selected, remaining functional group is treated as substituent. So I am quite sure that with this discussion, naming of polyfunctional compounds or bifunctional compounds you are able to understand. Now let us take naming of cyclic compounds. Naming of cyclic compounds. In the very beginning of this module, I told that all organic compounds are classified into two categories. One are open chain compounds or acyclic compounds, and second is cyclic compounds or closed chain compounds. Even for the naming of these cyclic compounds or for closed chain compounds, all the rules remain same. Only word cyclo is written before the root word. For the naming of cyclo compounds, we use X, name of prefix, where X represents locant of prefix, position. Then we write cyclo, then we write root word, then we write suffix 1, and finally we write suffix 2. And of course, if prefix or suffix is not written, is not present in the compound, then they are omitted, their names are not written. For example, we have this compound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No substituent is present, no functional group is present. So we write cyclo. Since there are 5 carbons, so we write pent, and all are single bonds, so ene. Now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No substituent is present, no functional group is present, and there are 6 carbons. So we write cyclo hex. Then this double bond is present between first and second carbon. And out of these two numbers, lower number indicates the position of double bond. So we write cyclohex 1 ene. But if this is the compound, then it is cyclohexa 2,4 diene. So all the rules that are applied for the naming of open chain compounds, they are also applied for the naming of cyclic compounds. The only difference is that word cyclo is written before root word. So in this compound, a substituent and a functional group both is present. First, second, third position. So at third we have methyl, so I had written 3 methyl. Then 6 carbons, so hex. But since they are present in a ring, so cyclohex. Then all the single bonds, so N, 1 position, all. And again, since this is a vowel, so ANE is not written, rather only AN is written. So I am quite sure that with this discussion, most of your doubts are cleared and you are able to write the IUPAC name. Still, if you have any doubt, please let me know so that I can clarify it. Thank you.